What's up, guys? It's Areebs US here, and I want to talk about Dr. Doom today, or his real name is Nouriel Roubini. He is a famous economics professor. So he did an interview, and so he's known for being quite negative on a lot of things. He's also known for making a lot of wrong predictions. For example, he said that there's going to be a 20% crash in 2011. That never happened. So there's a lot of predictions here that he's just been wrong on. He really comes out saying that it's not a currency, it's not a unit of account. Then how do you say it's not a unit of account when you have someone here, and it's not the only person. In fact, actually, Nigeria has almost replaced its currency with Bitcoin because their currency has been so devalued. It's been so expensive to buy US dollars. So this person here, they're doing a little expose on him. He saved money and in banking fees and buying US dollars and wire transfer fees by using Bitcoin. So Bitcoin does have a use. It is a unit of account in different countries. Doesn't mean it's a dominant one. I'm not saying that. But if it's not a unit of account, then why are people actually doing business transactions with it? So it can be a replacement for the SWIFT system, which Nouriel doesn't seem to acknowledge for some reason. Okay, so he's saying it's not an asset. Well, I've done a video about that recently. Yes, you know what? Many analysts have said it is an asset class, and it looks a lot like gold. So he actually compares it to precious metals, saying how they don't give you an income. Yes, Bitcoin doesn't, but it can be a store of value. But he argues that gold gives you industrial use. Okay, it can be used as jewelry. You can do other stuff with it, right? It can be used in electronics. And so there's also capital gains possible. But obviously, Bitcoin and gold both have this aspect of it. So I'm not sure what he's getting at. He's also saying it's not the most stable place to put your money. Well, neither is gold and silver, right? They often depreciate in good times, or economics and politics are stable. And conversely, when they're not, then silver and gold just start running like crazy. And we've seen that many times, even in the past 10 years. So I'm not sure what he's getting at. We've seen a similar thing as well as things have gotten nasty with coronavirus and a lot of concerns about geopolitical risk. We've seen that Bitcoin has had an amazing run during this pandemic. So I'm not sure what he's getting at once again. Anyway, it looks like the facts kind of also are in dispute here. For example, the market cap of Bitcoin right now is about 18.5 million Bitcoin are out there. Okay. The market cap of Bitcoin actually is bigger than the majority of countries' currencies, right? Including the United Arab Emirates, Poland, Austria, Indonesia, Turkey, Vietnam, Israel, Ireland, Chile, Portugal, Norway. So for him to say that it has no value, it's not a unit of account, the reason why, he talks about this too, but I think the reason why central banks are going to these digital currencies or because they do see it as a threat. You can see it over and over. They've acknowledged this, right? Governments around the world are seeing it as a threat to their dominance over controlling currency. So definitely, if Bitcoin and cryptocurrency wasn't a threat to the current financial system and was worthless, then you wouldn't see this mainstream kind of way of trying to combat it by making digital yuan, the JP coin, and so forth. And he also calls out Tether. I'm not going to get into that. Actually, I agree to him generally. Agree in the sense that I don't trust Tether, right? At first they claimed that each Tether is backed by a US dollar. Now it seems to be backed by some kind of affiliated loan companies. I'm not sure. It is a mess. And so I will give him whatever criticism he gives Tether. It's highly controversial and I simply don't trust it. But it's not really a shot towards cryptocurrency. Right? Neither is Bernie Madoff, a shot to stocks, right? There's going to be some good apples and bad apples, but it doesn't define, if that space is entirely good or bad, right? How about Goldman Sachs and the 1MDB scandal? Does it mean that all securities are bad and everyone's a fraudster involved in cryptocurrencies? No, I don't think it doesn't. I think they're just some bad actors and bad players, as with anything. And so I don't know, once again, he said the price of Bitcoin is manipulated. I don't see that he's made his case for this. Anything can be manipulated, but clearly we are seeing institutional and retail investors pile in. In fact, he talks about it being controlled by whales, right? You can read this article here showing, in fact, that it looks like there's a lack of whales that are actually participating right now in this current bull run. So I don't think it's the things he's saying so far are largely substantiated in fact. I will give him about Tether though. I will give him that. Talks about the BitMEX case. Once again, bad actors. Nothing to do with the validity of the cryptocurrency. Just like different investment scams and issues on the stock market are not really a shot at stocks themselves. And so, anyway, though, he's saying that there's no future with Bitcoin. It's not stable. So we talked about that as well. Talks about manipulating cryptocurrency. I'm sure he understands as well. In the 80s, a few certain brothers manipulated the price of silver. Okay, so I don't want to get into all this. I don't see the relevance of it. Yes, there are going to be some bad actors working in cryptocurrency or anything that has value. And we've seen that in cash. We've seen it in cryptocurrency. If anything, I think it lends credence to the fact that if these people are in cryptocurrency, there is value. Scammers aren't going to participate in a marketplace that has no value. These central banks are going to be bringing in their own digital currencies. We already have seen that with the digital yuan and the impending release of Japan's JP coin. And obviously a lot of governments are going to get on board. He is right, though. As far as I can tell, it doesn't sound like any of these are blockchain technology based. They are just digital versions. But here's my call on it. I think the reason they're doing this is because at the end of the day, at some point, they will make it easy to allow you to exchange your cryptocurrency for these digital assets and as a way of maintaining some kind of control and some kind of use and relevance in their own country. They're not introducing this because cryptocurrency is worthless. I think it's actually quite the opposite. So I think that's what you have to look at. You can look at the world's second biggest bank, China Construction Bank, right, who is going to be dealing in assets and securities based on Bitcoin, for example. So you see, I think the prediction's already wrong. China Construction Bank, as all banks in China, are essentially state-owned and state-run. That means they are sanctioned by the Chinese government. And so the Chinese government didn't want Bitcoin in the picture whatsoever. They would not have one of their banks participating in the investment of it. So yes, certainly they want the digital yuan to be the main system. Nouriel talks again about the fact that the different payment platforms like Alipay, WeChat Pay, Venmo, of course we have PayPal. But here's the thing, though. I actually believe the same thing when it first came out, when Bitcoin first came out, that it would not challenge PayPal. But in fact, as we know, PayPal is now participating in the crypto sphere as well. I think it's just too big at this point for us to say that it should be counted out, that it doesn't have any use. Bitcoin has use. There's many cryptocurrencies which have a use and are being used today as both an asset, both a store of value and a unit of account, as he talks. So the people who are actually transacting in these cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, including institutional investors, including the second largest bank in the world, including even PayPal, who he talks about. So I'm not sure where he's coming from with these claims. There's a few claims that are correct. Other ones, on the basis of the fact, I don't think that they're established. And I'm saying there's a bias in here because he's really such a proponent of the traditional financial system. I think he's just against change. I think this change is going to happen, whether he likes it or not. And whether the traditional finance system and banking system wants it or not, it's going to remain. There might be some changes. There's always going to be some bad actors. But cryptocurrency is here to stay with a market cap of over $700 billion today, and we're just getting started. I think that we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg here, and to be honest, I think Nouriel is dead wrong. He's been wrong in the past, and I don't think he's right about cryptocurrency. He makes some valid points about Tether and some examples, but I don't think he's proven his case. In fact, I think the facts speak alone that his claims are generally not accepted on the basis of reality. So guys, this has been a Reeps US here. I hope this has been interesting for you guys, and I'll see you next time.